The great hall of the Galactic Council was silent. Thousands of alien eyes watched as the chamber doors slid open with a deep metallic sound. Every leader, emperor, and high commander of the known galaxy was present. They had gathered to discuss threats, trade, and power. None of them expected the strange figure who now stepped inside. It was a human. The alien leaders exchanged confused looks. Some whispered in their own languages, their voices sharp with disbelief. "Impossible. Why is a human here?" one hissed. Another laughed, a low rumbling sound that echoed across the chamber. Humans were not considered important. They were seen as weak, slow, and far behind in technology. For centuries, the Council had ignored Earth, never inviting them to these sacred meetings, and yet here he was. A single human diplomat walked slowly toward the center of the chamber, his footsteps calm and steady. The human wore a plain black suit, nothing like the grand armor and robes of the alien rulers. He carried no weapon, no guards, yet there was something about the way he moved. His eyes scanned the chamber, sharp and fearless, as if he was not a guest, but the one in control. An insect-like emperor slammed his claw against the table. "This is a joke," he hissed. "Humans have no seat here. Remove him." But the human did not stop. He reached the central platform where no human had ever stood and looked around. His voice, calm but firm, carried through the hall. "I did not come here to ask for permission. I came here to deliver a message." Laughter broke out. A reptilian warlord leaned back in his chair, showing his teeth. "A message? From Earth? What could you possibly have to say to us?" The human diplomat's expression did not change. He let the laughter pass, as if he was waiting for it to end. His silence made the chamber uneasy. When the noise finally died, he spoke again. "You have watched Earth. You have judged us as weak. You have laughed at us, ignored us, and left us outside your council. You thought we were too far behind to matter, but you were wrong." A tall avian leader screeched. "Wrong? You have no fleets, no armies worth speaking of. Your people still fight each other like children." The human's lips curved into a small, unsettling smile. "You think we are children, but children grow, and while you were watching, while you were mocking us, we were preparing." The hall stirred. Several aliens frowned, others waved their hands dismissively. "Lies," one growled. The human raised his hand. A small device blinked on his wrist, and suddenly the air above the chamber shimmered. A hologram appeared, vast human warships, black and sharp as blades, filling the void of space. Engines glowed like burning suns. Weapons hummed with deadly power. The fleet stretched further than the eye could see. The chamber fell silent. The laughter stopped. Every alien eye was locked on the image. "This is the human defense fleet," the diplomat said quietly. It was hidden, built in silence, every ship ready, every weapon tested. We were silent not because we were weak, but because we were preparing for the day we would stand here. Gasps filled the hall. An amphibian ruler leaned forward, his voice trembling. "Impossible! This cannot be real." The human looked directly at him. "It is real, and it is here." The insect emperor slammed the table again, but this time his claws shook. "If you threaten us, human, we will wipe your kind from the stars." The diplomat's eyes narrowed. His voice dropped, steady as steel. "Try, and your empire will not survive the first hour." The chamber froze. Every ruler could feel the weight in his words. He was not boasting. He was promising. One by one, the alien leaders exchanged uneasy glances. Some whispered nervously, others clenched their fists in anger. The chamber was divided. At last, a metallic-voiced machine overlord spoke. "What is it you want?" The human's gaze swept across the hall. His voice echoed, each word sharp and heavy. "I want you to understand that Earth is no longer beneath you. We do not beg. We do not kneel. We stand as equals. From this day forward, you will treat humanity as such." A silence followed. Then the reptilian warlord laughed again, though it sounded forced. "You dare to command us? A single planet against an empire of thousands?" The human tilted his head slightly, and the hologram above them shifted. Now it showed not just ships, but live footage. Outside the Council's homeworld, orbiting in the darkness, hung a massive human warship. Its size dwarfed the alien defense fleet stationed nearby. Weapons lined its hull like 1,000 glowing eyes. The sight drew gasps of horror. The human's voice was soft, but the words cut deeper than any weapon. "A single planet, but a planet that will burn your skies if you force us." The reptilian warlord's laughter died in his throat. No one else spoke. The diplomat allowed the silence to linger. Then he turned, his footsteps calm once again as he walked toward the exit. His final words echoed behind him, filling the chamber with dread. "The era of human silence is over. Prepare for war, or prepare to perish." The doors closed behind him. For a long moment, the chamber remained frozen in shock. No one moved, no one spoke. Each alien ruler felt a chill they had never known before. The galaxy had changed in a single moment. The humans, once ignored, had stepped out of the shadows, and nothing would ever be the same again. The council chamber still felt heavy after the human diplomat left. His words echoed in every mind. Some rulers sat frozen in fear, while others clenched their fists in rage. The image of that massive warship outside their skies burned in their thoughts. Finally, the silence broke. A tall insectoid emperor clicked his mandibles in anger. "This is madness. They are bluffing. Humans cannot build such fleets without our notice. They are weak creatures, nothing more." But an avian leader, her feathers trembling, whispered, "And yet, we saw the ship. I felt its shadow above this world." The reptilian warlord slammed his clawed hand on the table. "Fear is clouding your judgment. Do not forget who rules the galaxy. These humans are late children playing with fire." He leaned closer, his golden eyes glowing with arrogance. "We could crush them before their fleet even leaves orbit," a smaller amphibian ruler croaked nervously. "Perhaps we should listen to them. What if their threat is real? That ship was—" The warlord cut him off with a laugh. "One ship, one display of holograms, tricks, illusions. Do not be fooled. They want us to tremble, but I will not bow to insects from a backwater world." The insect emperor supported him. "Yes. Let them roar like cubs. When the storm comes, they will scatter." Others began to agree. Voices rose, filling the chamber with arguments. Some demanded war, some begged for caution. The machine overlord's cold voice cut through the noise. "Emotion blinds you. Calculation is needed." The human revealed strength, but not limits. To underestimate them could be fatal. To overestimate could waste our power. The reptilian warlord snarled. "I need no calculation. I know weakness when I see it. Humans cannot stand against empires that have ruled for 10,000 years. The avian leader tilted her head. "Perhaps. But tell me, warlord, why did his words disturb you?" "I saw it in your eyes." The chamber fell quiet for a moment. The warlord bared his teeth but said nothing. Another voice rose, deep and ancient. It came from a crystalline being whose body shimmered like glass. "Pride has blinded us before. Do not forget the fall of the Varnak Dominion. They too laughed at a young race, and they were erased from the stars within a single century." The insect emperor snapped back. "That was different. Those creatures had power. Humans do not." The crystalline being's glow dimmed. "Are you certain, or do you only believe what you wish?" The argument grew louder. Some pounded the table, demanding a strike against Earth before the humans grew stronger. Others warned that such an act could lead to a war they could not control. The chamber shook with their rage. In the midst of the chaos, the doors opened once more. Every alien turned. Guards stepped aside as the human diplomat walked back into the chamber. His calm face carried no fear, though the atmosphere was thick With hostility, he walked straight to the center again, as if he belonged there. "You continue to argue," he said softly. "I can hear your voices from outside. Some of you believe us weak, others are wise enough to fear. I came back to save. You should stop debating, because the choice is already in front of you." The reptilian warlord rose from his seat, towering over the chamber. His tail lashed against the floor with a loud crack. "You dare return here? You dare lecture us? Human? You think one ship makes you strong?" The human looked at him unshaken. "One ship was enough to shake this council to its core. Imagine what 1,000 will do." The warlord roared, his voice shaking the chamber. "Empty threats. You speak of power, but you are nothing. Your kind is nothing." The human smiled, faintly. "You sound afraid." The warlord's claws dug into the table. "Afraid, no insect. I will show you what it means to challenge the masters of this galaxy." He turned to the council. "Give me command. I will strike Earth myself. I will burn their cities, and I will bring back the diplomat's head as proof of their weakness." Some cheered. Others looked uneasy. The amphibian ruler whispered, "This could be a mistake." The machine overlord's cold voice cut in. "If you attack and fail, you risk more than your pride. You risk all of us." But the warlord ignored him. His golden eyes glared at the human. "Run back to your world. Tell them the storm is coming." The human tilted his head slightly. His calmness unsettled everyone more than any threat could. "Do what you wish. But remember this, when humans fight, we do not stop. We do not forgive. Strike us once and we will strike back until your empire is dust." He turned and walked away again, leaving silence behind him. The reptilian warlord growled, his voice low. "Then let them come. We will see whose words turn to ash." As the human disappeared through the doors, the council chamber erupted once more into chaos. Leaders argued, alliances cracked, fear mixed with arrogance. Some whispered that the human was bluffing. Others could not erase the image of that warship from their minds. In the shadows of the hall, a quiet realization spread among the wisest rulers. The galaxy had always believed humans were beneath them, but now doubt had entered their hearts. Doubt that humans might be far more dangerous than anyone had ever imagined. And while the council fought among themselves, far beyond the stars, the human fleet waited in silence. The council chamber did not sleep that night. Even after the human diplomat left for the second time, the rulers of the galaxy argued without pause. Some demanded an immediate strike against Earth. Others begged for patience, saying they should first measure the true scale of human strength. The reptilian warlord, full of pride, declared again and again, "Humans cannot hide fleets from us. Their planet is open. Their skies are weak. This is nothing but smoke and lies." But doubt lingered in the air. No one forgot the warship that had appeared outside their very world. The next day, the human diplomat returned as if the chamber belonged to him. The guards tried to stop him, but he walked past them without fear. His calm steps echoed as he entered the hall, his plain black suit a sharp contrast to the golden thrones and jeweled armor around him. "I see you are still divided," he said, his voice steady. "Good. Division weakens you. It makes my task easier." The insect emperor leaned forward, his mandibles clicking. "You come again? Do you enjoy playing with danger, human? Do you not realize where you stand?" The human's eyes were cold. "I know exactly where I stand. I stand in the heart of an empire that believes itself untouchable. I stand before rulers who think fear belongs only to others. But I tell you this, you should fear us." The reptilian warlord laughed bitterly. More empty words. "Show us, human. If you claim power, prove it, or leave this chamber before I crush you with my own hands." The human diplomat raised his wrist device again. The chamber dimmed as a new hologram filled the air. This time it was not still images, but live. Transmission. High above Earth, human fleets floated in formation. Thousands of warships, their black armor gleaming against the light of the sun, stretched across the void. Their weapons glowed like burning stars, their engines hummed with silent fury. The fleet looked alive, like a predator waiting to strike. The avian leader gasped, "By the skies, it is real!" The amphibian ruler croaked softly. "They were not lying. The humans. They were hiding this from us all along." The warlord bared his fangs, but said nothing. His tail flicked in agitation. The hologram shifted again, showing a human colony world at the edge of space. Alien. Pirates descended on it, their ships firing bright plasma into the skies. For a moment, it seemed the colony would fall. Then, without warning, a squadron of human warships appeared. They moved faster than the eye could follow, cutting through the pirate fleet like knives through cloth. Within minutes, the attackers were gone, burning wrecks scattered across the stars. The human diplomat's voice was calm, almost gentle. "For centuries, we stayed silent. We let you mock us, we let you ignore us, but while you looked away, we built, we learned, we prepared." The crystalline being spoke, its voice ringing like glass. "This power, it changes everything." The warlord growled, "It proves nothing. A few ships, a few victories against pirates." The hologram shifted once more. Now it showed the human fleet surrounding a massive asteroid. In perfect silence, the ships fired their weapons in unison. The asteroid, the size of a moon, shattered into glowing dust. Gasps filled the chamber. The human lowered his hand. The hologram vanished, but the memory of it burned in every mind. He looked at the council, his expression unreadable. "Do you still doubt us?" he asked quietly. The reptilian warlord slammed his claw against the table, though his voice shook now. "If you seek fear, you will find it. If you seek war, you will have it." The human diplomat stepped closer, his calmness sharper than any weapon. "No, I seek truth. The truth is simple. The galaxy is no longer yours alone. Humanity has risen, and you have only two choices. Stand with us as equals, or stand against us and fall." The chamber erupted in voices again. Some leaders shouted for peace, others demanded war. The machine overlord's cold tone cut through them all. "Silence, you saw what I saw. A fleet, hidden in the dark, waiting. If they prepared in secret once, they can do it again. We cannot dismiss them." The avian leader nodded quickly. "He speaks true. Look at the warlord. His pride fights his fear, but fear is winning." The warlord roared at her. "Lies! I fear nothing." But the chamber could see the tremor in his claws. The human diplomat turned to leave. His final words were low, but they carried through every corner of the chamber. "Prepare wisely, because the next time I return, it will not be for talk." The doors closed behind him, and the chamber shook with unrest. Some rulers whispered in panic, others clung to their pride, but none could escape the truth that now haunted them all. Humanity was no longer a shadow on the edge of the galaxy. Humanity was the storm. The council chamber was restless. The human diplomat's words still lingered in the air, sharp and heavy like a blade pressed against the throat of the galaxy. Some rulers whispered about surrender, others demanded war, and all of them felt the same uneasy truth. Humanity had changed everything. The reptilian warlord sat forward, his golden eyes burning with rage. "This cannot go unanswered. If we bend now, every world will see weakness. These humans must be crushed before their power spreads." The avian leader spread her wings, feathers trembling. "And if they are stronger than you believe? You saw their fleet. You saw the asteroid shatter. Would you gamble the lives of billions just to prove your pride?" The warlord bared his teeth in a sharp grin. "Yes, because fear will not chain me. If humans threaten war, then war they shall have. Better to strike now than cower later." The crystalline being's voice chimed softly. "And if you fail, warlord, What then? Your empire burned, your people ash? Do you believe the humans will forgive? They warned us. They do not stop. They do not forgive. The insect emperor slammed his claws against the table. Enough of this weakness. The galaxy belongs to us, not to some upstart species. One world cannot stand against thousands. But the machine overlord's cold tone silenced him. One world, yes, but one world with fleets built in secret. One world with weapons you have never seen. One world that has already shaken this chamber to its knees. The amphibian ruler shifted nervously. Perhaps we should test them, send scouts, see if their strength is truth or illusion. The reptilian warlord rose to his full height, his voice thundering. No, I need no scouts. I will lead the strike myself. I will burn their cities until Earth begs for mercy. A hush fell over the chamber. Even those who agreed with him hesitated at the fire in his eyes. The avian leader whispered, "Your pride will kill us all." The warlord snarled back, "My pride will save the galaxy from humiliation." The chamber doors hissed open again. Every eye turned. The human diplomat had returned once more, his presence so calm that it twisted the tension even tighter. He stepped into the center, his dark suit untouched by the storm of voices. "You argue like frightened children," he said softly. "Some of you speak of caution, others of war, yet none of you understand. The moment you raise a hand against Earth, the choice will be over. There will be no talks, no peace, only fire." The insect emperor hissed in fury. "You dare to threaten us again?" The human's gaze was steady. "It is not a threat, it is a promise." The reptilian warlord's claws scraped the floor as he stepped closer, towering over the smaller figure. "Enough words, human. If you believe yourself untouchable, then face me here and now." The chamber fell silent. No one had ever challenged a diplomat before, but the human only looked up at the giant creature, his calm smile unbroken. "Strike me, and your empire will fall before my body touches the ground." The warlord roared, his tail smashing into the floor. "You cannot scare me." The human leaned closer, his voice a whisper that carried like thunder. "Then listen to the silence above this world. Listen to the ships waiting. One command, and your home stars will go dark." The chamber froze. The avian leader's feathers shook. The amphibian ruler croaked in fear. Even the insect emperor looked uneasy. The crystalline being spoke again, voice sharp as breaking glass. "Warlord, stop! You risk us all." But the warlord's pride was too deep. He raised his claw, ready to strike the human diplomat where he stood. Before he could move, the chamber itself trembled. A deep vibration ran through the walls. Lights flickered. The machine overlord tilted its head, sensors glowing. Detection. Anomaly above orbit. The chamber's ceilings split open into a wide projection. Every ruler looked up in shock. A colossal human warship had just arrived in orbit, larger than any vessel they had ever seen. Its hull was black and endless, its weapons glowing like a burning sea. Smaller ships swarmed around it like predators circling their prey. Gasps filled the chamber. The avian leader's voice shook. "By the skies! They brought it here." The amphibian ruler whispered, "We are already in their sights." The warlord's raised claw froze mid-air. His golden eyes flickered with doubt for the first time. The human diplomat's voice was calm, almost gentle. "I told you. Strike. Me and your empire falls. Do you doubt me still?" The warlord lowered his claw slowly, rage and fear warring in his eyes. His chest heaved, but no words came out. The human stepped back, his voice carrying to every corner. "You have a choice. Stand with us as equals, or prepare for war that will leave nothing but ruins." The chamber was silent. For the first time in the history of the council, no ruler spoke. The human turned to leave once more, his footsteps echoing like the sound of fate itself. As the doors closed behind him, the rulers sat frozen, their pride shattered by the shadow of the fleet. Above, the galaxy had reached its breaking point. One more spark and the fire would consume them all. The council chamber was silent after the great warship appeared in orbit. No one dared to speak, no one dared to move. The shadow of the human fleet pressed down on them like a storm waiting to break. At last, the crystalline being's voice rang, out soft but sharp. The choice is before us. To fight them is to risk all. To join them is to admit equality. Which path do we take? The reptilian warlord's golden eyes glowed with fury. He slammed his claw into the table, cracking the stone beneath it. I will never kneel to humans. I will never share power with a race that should still crawl in the dirt. The avian leader's feathers shook as she leaned forward. Pride will not save you, warlord. You saw what I saw. Their fleet is real. Their weapons are real. One wrong step, and your empire burns. The insect emperor hissed, mandibles clicking. In anger. If we surrender to humans today, we surrender forever. What is a council of rulers if we let Earth command us? The amphibian ruler croaked nervously. Perhaps they do not seek command. Perhaps they truly wish for equality. The warlord snarled at him. Equality with insects! Do not insult me! The human diplomat stepped forward again, his calm presence silencing the chamber. His voice was steady, his eyes sharp. You still argue like children. But listen closely, for I will speak only once. Humanity does not ask for your surrender. We demand respect. We demand to be treated as equals. Nothing more, nothing less. The crystalline being tilted its shimmering head. And if we refuse? The human's reply was quiet, but it cut through the air like a blade. Then we will erase your empires until none remain. Gasps filled the hall. Even those who had once mocked humanity now felt the weight of those words. The machine overlord spoke next, its voice cold and metallic. Human, explain this equality. What would it mean for the council? The diplomat's eyes moved across the room, meeting each ruler's gaze. It means you will no longer speak of Earth as a child's world. It means we will sit among you, not beneath you. It means our fleets will defend the galaxy as much as yours, and our voice will be as strong as yours. The avian leader nodded, slowly. That is not conquest. That is balance. But the warlord roared again, his voice echoing through the chamber. Balance? No, this is a trick. They speak of equality today, but tomorrow they will demand rule. First a seat, then the throne. I see their game. The human smiled faintly, the kind of smile that chilled every heart. You see only what you fear, but your fear does not change the truth. Humanity has risen. Whether you join us or fight us, the age of ignoring Earth is over. The chamber fell into chaos once more. Voices clashed, anger and fear mixing into a storm of sound. Some shouted for peace, others demanded immediate war. The crystalline being tried to calm them. Silence! Do you not see? Our division is their strength. If we fight among ourselves, we are already lost. The machine overlord added, calculation shows risk of total collapse if humans are opposed directly. Probability of survival is higher if alliance is formed. But the insect emperor hissed back, you speak like a coward. Better to die as rulers than live as equals with humans. The avian leader's voice rose above the noise. Better to live and learn than die in arrogance. The reptilian warlord suddenly stood, his massive frame towering over all. His golden eyes burned with rage as he pointed at the human diplomat. I will not accept your terms. If no one else will act, then I will declare war myself. My fleets will strike Earth before the next dawn. The chamber froze. Every ruler turned to him in shock. The human diplomat did not move. He simply looked at the warlord, calm as ever. Then your empire will be the first to fall. Remember, you were warned. The warlord snarled, but for the first time, Hesitation flickered in his eyes. The amphibian ruler whispered, "You cannot win, warlord, not against them," the crystalline being added. "Your pride will destroy more than yourself. It will drag the galaxy into fire." The warlord's claws trembled. His pride fought his fear, but fear was winning. At last, he turned his head away, growling in frustration. The human diplomat's voice echoed in the chamber, final and unshakable. "The council must decide. Stand with us or perish. There is no middle path." Silence fell once more. For the first time in the history of the galaxy, the rulers looked at one another and saw not dominance, not superiority, but fear of a single world they had once mocked. The avian leader spoke softly. "Perhaps the age of human silence has ended. Perhaps it is time for a new order." The crystalline being's glow pulsed brighter. "Yes, better a future built with them than no future at all." The machine overlord's voice hummed. "Agreement. Probability of survival is greater with alliance." One by one, the rulers lowered their heads, some out of wisdom, some out of fear, but all with the same realization: humanity could no longer be ignored. The warlord sat back in silence, his pride shattered, his claws curled into the table. The human diplomat turned once more toward the exit. His final words were clear, sharp, and heavy with promise. "Then the choice is made. The galaxy will remember this day." The doors closed behind him, leaving the chamber in stunned quiet. For the first time in centuries, the rulers of the galaxy felt the weight of equality. And far above, the human fleet waited, silent and watching. The chamber remained in uneasy silence long after the human diplomat left. His words, heavy and final, lingered like a shadow across the rulers of the galaxy. Some had already accepted the truth. Others still clung to pride. But all of them felt the same fear pressing down on their hearts. The reptilian warlord sat hunched over the table, his golden eyes glowing with fury. His claws scraped against the stone, leaving deep scars. "I will not yield to them," he growled. "Let the rest of you bow if you wish. My empire will never share power with humans." The avian leader tilted her head, her feathers quivering. "Your empire may not survive the weak if you continue on this path. You saw their fleet. You saw what they can do." The crystalline being added, its voice ringing like glass. "The choice was clear, warlord. Equality or destruction. Refuse, and you risk the second." The insect emperor hissed in support of the warlord. "I will not kneel either. The council has lived for 10,000 years without humans. Why should we surrender to them now?" The machine overlord's voice cut through the arguments, cold and sharp. "Because their strength is proven. Calculation suggests humans can destroy your empires in days, perhaps hours. Refusal is not survival. Refusal is extinction." The amphibian ruler croaked nervously. "Perhaps the humans will show mercy if we join them. Perhaps they only wish to stand beside us, not above us." The warlord slammed his claw against the table again, sparks flying. "You are all fools. Can you not see? This is their plan. They want us to kneel now so they can rule tomorrow. Today, they demand equality. Tomorrow, they will demand obedience." The avian leader's voice rose. "And if you are wrong, if your pride blinds you, your empire will drag the rest of us into war we cannot win." The warlord bared his teeth. "Then let the galaxy burn, but I will never bend." The chamber shook suddenly. Lights flickered, a deep rumble echoed through the walls. The rulers froze, looking around in alarm. The machine overlord's eyes glowed red. "Alert! Multiple human warships entering orbit. Massive energy signatures detected." The ceiling split open into a wide projection. The rulers stared in shock. Above their very world, the human fleet had multiplied. Dozens of colossal ships, filled the skies, weapons glowing, their shadows blotting out the stars. The amphibian ruler gasped. "They brought the whole fleet." The avian leader's feathers bristled. "No, not the whole fleet. This is only a fraction." The warlords, claws clenched, rage and fear twisting inside him. "They dare to threaten us here, in the heart of the council." The crystalline being spoke quietly. "It is not a threat. It is a demonstration. They want us to see what waits if we refuse them." As the chamber trembled again, the doors opened. The human diplomat entered for the final time. His calm footsteps echoed as he walked to the center of the room. He looked at the terrified rulers, then at the proud warlord, and spoke in a voice that carried like thunder. "The time for debate is over. Look above you. That is only a taste of our strength. If you choose peace, the fleet will defend this galaxy with you. If you choose war—" He paused, his eyes locking on the warlord. "Then this world will be the first to fall." The insect emperor hissed in fury. "You dare threaten the council itself?" The human's gaze was cold. "I do not threaten. I reveal truth. You built empires on fear, on pride, on cruelty, but humanity has learned. We do not ask for chains, we ask for equality. And if you deny it, then your stars will go dark." The chamber erupted in voices once more. Some rulers shouted for peace, others for war. The machine overlord calculated probabilities aloud, warning of destruction. The crystalline being urged caution. The avian leader begged for wisdom. The reptilian warlord roared, silencing them all. He rose to his full height, his golden eyes blazing. "I will never accept this. I declare war on humanity. My fleets will march, and we will see whose fire burns brighter." The chamber froze. The human diplomat did not move. His expression remained calm, almost sad. "Then your empire dies first," he said softly. At that moment, the projection above shifted. Outside, the human fleet moved in perfect silence. One colossal warship lowered its cannons, glowing brighter than suns. The entire chamber shook as energy built, humming like the voice of doom. The amphibian ruler screamed, "Stop! Stop this!" Madness. The crystalline being's glow dimmed. "They mean to prove their promise," the avian leader whispered, trembling. "The warlord has doomed us all." The warlord's roar filled the chamber. "Do your worst, human. I do not fear." "You!" The human diplomat raised his hand. The fleet above hummed louder. The stars seemed to tremble. Then, just before the cannons fired, the human lowered his hand again. Silence fell. The light of the weapons dimmed. The chamber shook with relief. Yet the fear did not fade. The diplomat's voice was soft, but every word carried like a hammer. "We do not kill without reason, but remember this moment. The next time you raise your hand against Earth, you will not see mercy." He turned toward the doors, his final words echoing like a prophecy. "The era of human silence is over. The galaxy will never forget this day." The doors closed behind him. Above, the human fleet held its position, silent and watchful. The rulers of the galaxy sat frozen, pride shattered, hearts heavy with fear. For the first time in history, they understood what it meant to face humanity, and in that silence, one truth became clear. The galaxy would never be the same again.